So you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World. Where do you even start?
Just a little pixie dust.
When I start planning a Walt Disney World trip, I'll be honest, the first thing I ask myself is what time of year do I want to go? Every season has its pros and its cons. I personally am at a point in life where I'm not going if school's out. I don't need the crowds. I have been to Walt Disney World on New Year's Eve before, and that is the busiest day of the year. They literally had managers out in the walkways of Magic Kingdom holding hands, hand to hand, to make a human chain so that there would be two-way traffic. I will not go back at that time again. So, after you have picked yourself a time of year that you want to go, do you want to do the planning? I personally am not a travel agent. I wouldn't even know who to recommend, but plenty of people use a travel agent. I am too much of a control freak to ever give that up. Because as you're planning your Disney World trip, you'll know there are certain dates you need to keep in mind. You need to make sure you have your park pass reservations. You make dining reservations 60 days out if you're staying on property. Those types of things that a travel agent would take care of you for that. So, like I said, there's pros and cons to every season. A lot of people love the fall because that's when the parties start. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. One that once I had been to it a few times, I won't go back. I'm not a huge crowd person. I will pay extra for after hours because it's very low crowds. You pay extra for the party and it's not very low crowds to me. I don't know. I've never done the character meet and greets because the lines are too long for me. So maybe other people have different opinions on that, but I don't know. Mom and I felt like we almost got trampled getting into it last year, so we're just going to skip it this year. Now, the Christmas parties, on the other hand, I absolutely adore. I'm going back for Jollywood Nights this year for a second time. I'm excited for that. So, like I said, every season, Christmas time, once the kids are out of school, very, very crowded. Into wintertime, you're talking about Festival of the Arts, one of my favorite festivals at Epcot. So I love to go in January. That's a fun January, February. It's colder. That's okay by me. I just bundled up on my trip in January last year. You can see the videos. I will not go during March, April. Those are too close to spring break. May is a good time to go right before things get ridiculously hot. It will be hot, but kids will still be in school and it won't be ridiculously hot. So, the second thing to think about when you're planning your trip is how fit are you? And that's not a wrong thing to think about. Like, if you need to get a scooter, there are tons of places that will rent you a scooter for the day. And if you rent from an outside party, they'll deliver it to your hotel and pick it up from your hotel. And then you have it inside and outside of the parks. If you rent a scooter from Disney World and say you want to take a break to go back to the hotel in the middle of the day, you're going to have to turn that scooter back in, keep your receipt, and then when you come back later in the evening, you get another scooter if they're available. So that's why I always suggest if you really truly need the scooter, rent it from a third party, rent it from someone outside that will deliver it to you so that you have it 24/7. Now, if you're like my mom and I, you own one. We love our AirHawk. The AirHawk is a wonderful motorized wheelchair where it can switch from her doing it if she's in the right mindset to being attendant driven, which is what we do 99% of the time, where I'm driving her. So, personally, I'm not that fit. We take breaks. I take care of my foot. I just take it at a different pace. I don't expect too much out of one day in the park because I know I'm going to go back. If you're only going for one day and you never plan on going back, you're going to hit it. I get that. But just know physically it's going to knock you down. Like, there are 4 theme parks. The first time we went to all 4 theme parks, just boom, 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 day after day after day. Now when I go, the max I do is 3 theme parks, and I do them every other day. I don't do 4 theme parks in one trip anymore. I'm too old. It's not fun for me to do that. So, and I don't mind leaving off Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom every other time. Like, I like to keep Epcot and Magic Kingdom, but the other 2 parks, I don't mind switching them out because I'm going to go back. It's not my last time. So that's why I plan things that way. So, because I can't do 4 theme parks in one day. There's also 2 water parks and a shopping district. Disney Springs is really, really fun. The water parks are really fun. And it doesn't cost that much. If you're already booking through Disney, you can get what's called the water park sports option ticket, where basically if you're paying for 2 days in the theme park, they will also give you 2 days worth of tickets to do something else, such as mini golf, water park. You could go to the water park twice, but you have different options on what you... So look into the different ticket options while you're planning your trip. Learn what the different ticket options are. Basic tickets, 1 theme park per day. Park hoppers, park hop to different theme parks whenever you want throughout the day. Water park sports option means you can go to the ESPN Wide World of Sports or the water parks as well as your park tickets. It doubles your vacation for not double the price. So that's definitely something to look into if you have to stay busy every day. Personally, when I did the water park sports option with my daughter on our vacation, we were too worn out to go to the water parks on our rest days, and we only did it once. So, also, if you're in Orlando, there are these places called the Character Warehouse Outlets, and that's where people get Disney Parks merchandise for clearance prices. So maybe you want to put that into your itinerary. Number 3, what do you want to do? How many days do you have? That's what we're talking about. The ticket options are numerous. And if this is your first trip and you're not like me and you don't want to watch a bunch of videos to figure this stuff all out, definitely recommend having a travel agent do it for you. That's what they're there for. Because there is a lot to planning the trip. Because we haven't even gotten into, are you going to do lightning lanes or not? Do you want a park hopper? I personally don't do park hoppers because I'm only going for so many days and I'm already worried about being worn out. So I don't want to put that much more into it. I just want to do 1 park per day. That's it. Just 1 park. Next up, I make a plan for my vacation. And what I mean by that is literally writing it down in the books. What do you want to go each day? Where do you want to go each day? The reason why I get nitpicky with the planning is I am a Disney adult, so I want to do my Disney bounding, because the next thing after I make that plan, because I know it'll change, but the basics won't, I can plan my outfits. And I do. I plan exactly what I will be wearing in those parks each and every day. But be flexible. Know that it's going to change. It just is. Stuff is going to happen on this trip. Be flexible. So, once you have your plan and you know which park you want to go to on each day, you're going to mark your calendar. You're going to mark it for dining reservations, when party tickets go on sale, or if you want to book any magical extras. That might be something you're not aware of. There are so many Disney magical extras you can look into. Dessert parties, carriage rides at resorts, horseback riding at the campgrounds, painting at the Riviera. There's just different magical extras that can be done all throughout the resort, and you would need to mark your calendar on when to book those. One of my favorite things to book for the holiday season, if you're there in the month of December, they do a holiday sleigh ride at the campgrounds. And by sleigh, you know, it's still a wagon, but they put the jingle bells on it and they decorate it, and you're going through the campgrounds, and all the campgrounds are decorated for Christmas. It's one of my absolute favorite magical extras. Getting that sleigh ride at Christmas time was so much fun. Once you make all those plans, you kind of have a good idea of what's next, like how to plan out your wardrobe and how to pack up, because you have a plan. And that's the biggest thing. And I can't tell you exactly how to plan because that's different for every family. But you need to stop and think about the basics. What time of year are you going to go? What type of tickets are you going to get? And that's a budget question. Your basic one-day ticket is your cheapest ticket. Park hopper, you don't have to get park hopper to get the water sports option. So you could just get basic tickets and a water sports option. Anyway, it gets confusing. This is why a lot of people use a travel agent, because it doesn't cost extra. Disney pays for it. So, but that's how I plan my trips to Disney World. I just start thinking about what time of year I want to go, and I build it from there. I mark my calendar to make sure I don't miss anything, and I just start that countdown and getting ready when it gets closer to time. To sum it all up, guys, basically, when you're planning a Walt Disney World trip, we have these dreams and aspirations of doing everything. But I really think you should always take into consideration how fit you are as a person, how fit your family is, how much excitement can they handle. I am not a person that can go on vacation and do the theme parks every day. Can't do it. Don't want to do it. Part of it for me on vacation is having that rest day in between to rest and relax at the pool. So when you're planning, keep that in mind. How much do you actually want to do? How much do you have a budget for? And while you're planning, keep a lookout for the ways to save money, like going to Sam's Club to buy gift cards where you can save 4% on anything at Disney with a Disney gift card. Those are just little tips and tricks too that you can find. And like I said, if you don't feel like doing any of this, just get one of the travel agents out there to do it for you. But make sure you're having fun doing it, because a vacation should always be fun. And I do think that's why I have fallen in love with Disney World, is because it is a little bit complicated, and I love learning how to do it and keeping up with it and making the plans and getting the reservations booked. It's like checking off those little lists, and Lord knows I love to make a list. So I hope you enjoyed hearing how I plan for Disney World. Till next time, guys.
Hey, come back, wherever you are.